Cross down the right sidelines, but Cross cannot make the play as Ohio comes out throwing as we expected.
Well, once again, Ohio trying to work on this young secondary of the Golden Flashes. They have two freshman quarterbacks. John Taylor, who was in on the coverage, is on the right side. Keith Younger is on the left side. Ohio opening the ball up, throwing it. Also, John Sanders making the start at wide receiver in place of Gerald Harris, who is dressed and ready to go today. So Sanders making his first start, a transfer from California.
And missing from that Kent State secondary, Jamie Howe, one of the leading interceptors in the Mid-American Conference last year. They lost him to graduation, and Ohio will try and exploit that as the game goes on. Second down for Ohio. Thornton with the option. Back to Andrew Greer. Greer's got a blocker, and he turns the corner. He's got first down yardage. So Ohio University, after passing on the first possession, goes back to something we're used to seeing, and that is the option play, something that Anthony Thornton runs very well.
Yeah, talking a little bit about this Kent State Golden Flashes defense, they have a strong inside linebacking course, just like Ohio has, and Bill Garrett and David Terry. Well, for Kent State, it's John Massimiani, who's #1 in the MAC in tackles, and L.D. Hartman, who is #7 in tackles. Also, Phil Thompson and Andrew Harmon at the linebacker spots. The front three of Doug Agnew, John Stefanik, and Ed Greutzer, and we talked a little bit about the secondary.
And Jeff Stefanik is a good one at the nose guard position. Big third down early for Ohio. Inside handoff to Chris Mobley, has the first down. So Ohio punches it into Kent State territory.
Well, Ohio will go into that option attack, Bob, in short yardage situations, and he got good blocking over the left side of that line with Scott Tate and Dale Liesenheimer and Don Shimmick on that left guard spot. Shimmick, a player who he's unable to practice during the weekdays, Bob. His knees are really banged up, but he goes every Saturday.
And Liesenheimer, of course, with a big matchup against the Panic. We'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. First and 10 for the Bobcats, showing that I formation as they normally do. Thornton will pass again. Under pressure, scrambles away from two defenders, throwing to a wide open Byron Cross. If the ball can get there, and it can't. Cross was wide open down at the 10-yard line, had touchdown written all over it, but Thornton rolling to his left, the left-handed thrower, just couldn't get enough muster on the football.
Yeah, he was throwing away from his body, of course. Thornton, a left-handed arm, and Byron Cross left wide alone. The secondary men for Kent State had came up on the play. They thought Thornton was going to break it for a run, and that's why he's so dangerous. Andrew Harmon was chasing after Anthony Thornton and just couldn't catch him, and that pass just a little short for Byron Cross, who, as we mentioned, Bob, had the game of his life last week. 6 catches, 132 yards, a career high.
But the only thing he did wrong was after scoring one of his touchdowns, he spiked the football, and that led to a 35-yard extra point attempt, which was missed by Groundbacher, which really was the difference in that ball game. Second down for Ohio. Last time on second down after a pass, they ran the option. This time they'll give it to Greer deep in the backfield, and Greer gets good yardage off the left side.
#7, Andrew Greer, the ball carrier.
Coming in the nickel package for Kent State is Ken Clements and Reggie Cook, a couple of other young secondary players. Reggie Cook, a player who blocked a punt last week against Ball State, which set up a Kent score. And Kent was out of that game early. They were trailing 23-7. They came back nicely in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for a 2-point conversion that Kenny Parker couldn't run in, they would have tied a very good Ball State team on Kent's homecoming last week.
It's hard to say that Kent is an up-and-down team considering they haven't won, but there have been weeks where they've looked sharp, as in the Ball State game. They also played pretty well for a while against Kansas in a non-conference game, so Kent definitely can get the job done if they put it together. Thornton, quick pop pass to Cross. He's got him slanting over the middle. First down and then some. Cross has good speed. He gets to the sidelines before he's finally run out of bounds by Keith Younger. So Byron Cross with a quick slant over the middle and a good strike by Anthony Thornton. Hit him right on strong. From there, the athletic ability of Cross takes over.
Yeah, Cross did a nice job in the open field. He got around J.D. Barnes, a nice player in the secondary, the free safety for the Golden Flashes. And like we mentioned, Bob, Ohio wants to set up that short passing game to Jim Swanson and Byron Cross. Coach Bryan feels that play will be there for them. He feels that this coverage of Kent State is very good. They play tough, aggressive defense on the ball, and that's why if you get a couple steps off the line, that's why you'll have some open receivers, which we've had here early on for Ohio.
Well, Byron Cross, 10th in the Mid-American Conference in receiving with 23 receptions for about 16.2 yards per catch. So that's a nice average for Cross. Thornton keeps it on the ground to Greer. Big hole on the right side, and Greer goes firing through down to the 5-yard line.